So we have yet another poll on the skyrocketing support for unions among this recent strike wave. This is from More Perfect Union. More Perfect Union and Blue Rose Research ran a national survey of 2,450 voters from October 18th to October 24th to assess voters' attitudes toward organized labor and strikes. Majorities of Americans said they view labor unions favorably. 58% would support unions at their place of work, 54%, and agree that the current strike wave is long overdue, 53%. Thousands of workers are currently on strike across the country, including 10,000 John Deere workers. By the way, they rejected the most recent proposal from management, and they want more, so solidarity to those workers, in Iowa and Illinois, and 1,400 Kellogg's workers in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nebraska, and Tennessee. The poll found that while majorities of Americans at every income level said they support having a union at their workplace, the strongest support, get this, came from Americans who make less than $25,000 per year, 58%, and between $25,000 and $50,000 per year, 57%. Among the wealthiest respondents, those making more than $150K, a smaller majority, but still 52% support a union at their workplace. Similarly, while majorities at every education level said they want a union at their workplace, support was strongest, 60%, among people with less than a high school education. In 2020, Donald Trump won voters with a high school education or less by 15 points. Do you understand the takeaway from this story? Donald Trump cleaned up in that category. People with less than a high school education. 60% of them support unions. What's the path for Democrats to win back those people? Strong, unapologetic, vocal support of unions. Imagine if Joe Biden sided with the John Deere workers, sided with the Kellogg workers, went to go participate in a strike, used the bully pulpit on this front. Imagine he did that. Imagine, it'd be a game changer. Politics is fluid. It's not stagnant. It's not like whatever the results were last time, they're guaranteed to be this time. No. Do you want to win back people who have less than a college education, less than a high school education? Do you want to win back people in, certain income brackets that you're not doing well in or you should do better in? For the love of God, here's another example of the people are telling you exactly what they want. In every way they polled, a majority of Americans support unions and support this current wave of strikes, and a majority support a union at their workplace. Even people who make over $150,000 a year. I was surprised by that one. Usually the more people make, the less they say, yeah, I want a union, because they feel like, I got mine, I'm okay. No, majorities across the board support unions. I really feel like there's been a light bulb moment in this country. And I think one of the reasons why is people know Washington is not fighting for them. People know our politics are corrupt. People know nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself, and the best way to do that is to stand in solidarity with your fellow workers and fight back against exploitative management. Get a decent wage, get decent benefits, get paid time off. If the politicians aren't going to deliver, and clearly they're not, well, you could either negotiate one-on-one with your boss and hope they're nice, not a great idea, or you can stand in solidarity with your workers and collectively bargain. That's the answer. When unions were strongest in this country, the working class was the healthiest it's ever been. The golden age of economic expansion, we had high taxes on the wealthy, and we had strong unionization rates. And income and wealth inequality was much less than it is today. And I'm sure there were a lot of social ills that were not as impactful as they are today because material well-being, economic well-being ameliorates a lot of those ills. Doesn't eliminate them, but it makes them better. Well, now we're clearly in another gilded age of sorts, especially with this pandemic ramping up wealth and income inequality. And people, it could go either way. Sometimes people drink the Kool-Aid and go down the wrong path of let's be like Ayn Rand libertarians and go even more extreme in an anti-government direction. Bad idea. But the other thing that can happen and does happen and is happening in this instance is people are realizing, it's actually the opposite. We need solidarity. We need populism. We need workers joining together and having each other's back because nobody else is going to have our backs. So here you go. Of course, the reason why the Democrats wouldn't necessarily get all on board with this is why? They do take some union money, Democrats do, but they take more corporate money. So they're always trying to find a way to pander to the unions by saying some things every now and then, but largely serving the corporations who are at odds with what the union wants. So again, the problem always comes back to corruption, and that's where we are on this issue. But even just aesthetically, if you supported unions more, if you were more aggressive in your support of them, you'd get rewarded by voters. But of course, you'd be punished by your donors, which is why Democrats are hesitating to pull the trigger on that front. Got to get the money out of the system, but really, guys, everybody should be happy because clearly there's a sea change happening when it comes to unions and when it comes to labor. And people are understanding, hey, maybe this is one of the most direct, pertinent, and powerful answers to many of our problems.